Wow, see, what do you make of those comments about Kyler Murray?
Well, I think that sometimes the scrutiny that certain quarterbacks are under is totally different. I know the quarterbacks they had last year, because if this continues, this would be tougher scrutiny than we saw the 5 quarterbacks last year. Josh Allen, tremendous question marks about him, his ability on the football field. Like, he was not a good college football player. There were questions about Lamar as far as his board work, his throwing motion, even people questioning him, should he play another position? But they didn't get the type of scrutiny as this. Do I believe Charley Casserly is wrong? I just believe that sometimes, and Kyler, we have to realize, in the last 45 days, he decided to play pro football. So did someone prepare him for the interviews the way he should have been prepared? Obviously not. Now, do I think he has the type of personality that might be a little bit different? Yes, but I've met other NFL players that were like him. Not particularly the quarterback, because sometimes what they want the quarterback to do and how the personality they want in the quarterback, sometimes it's just not fair. The kid has won at every level. I don't know how you can take over for Baker Mayfield and not know the X's and O's. They ran the same offense. They ran the same volume of offense, because I remember people talking about Joel Klatt talking to the head coach during the season when, Nick, you pointed out, he's playing better than Baker Mayfield.
Playing better.
And Baker Mayfield he broke records in
consecutive years. Efficiency record, broke his own efficiency record, and then Kyler had a better season than Baker did. I've never heard the X's and O's stuff. I've never heard the critique of the board work, but that's maybe just because he hasn't been exposed to that type of scrutiny like you're talking about. But this comment that he didn't interview well does not surprise me. You talked to him at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
You said on TV, like, you thought he might not be a guy that walks into a room and grabs you the way Baker did.
Right.
I watched him.
That was the first thing that I did notice.
Right.
And I didn't necessarily say that was a negative, because I've seen guys in the locker room, and typically I have seen Randall Cunningham. He was a different type of leader. Jeff George, he got criticized a lot. But if they would have taken Jeff George and told Jeff George, I just want you to play on the football team. I don't want you to lead. I don't want you to have the pressure of the responsibility to lead, because Jeff was a funny, soft-spoken guy. He wasn't a take charge, but he's the most talented, besides Warren Moon, the quarterback that I had ever seen throw the football. So you can be different and be a quarterback, but in the NFL, sometimes they won't allow it.
And this is what concerned me going into the Combine. I also watched his media interviews. And some guys aren't good in the media. They're good behind closed doors. Sometimes it's telling that they're just not great speaking.
They're not comfortable.
They're not comfortable. And I had a really distinct feeling this type of report was going to come out. That's why I thought he should have thrown. That's why I thought he should have run. Because if the only thing that's going to come out of the Combine is the negative stuff, if he would have thrown, it would have been, you know what, while Charley Casserly's talking about that, you know what tape they're showing?
Him at the Combine.
Killing
Great
it.
point, Nick.
Is
Great
him
point.
doing these drills so you have something to weigh it against. Doesn't change whether he throws or not, doesn't change how good of a football player he's going to be. But narratives matter. And the point that he's making, which is, if the Cardinals don't take him, how far could he fall? Like, sometimes narratives get away from you.
I doubt if he falls past the Raiders. He's definitely not going to fall past the Dolphins. And you have to realize that some of these places, they are craving Oklahoma-type offense in the NFL. So the thing he strived at, now I could understand, man, if he was going to some ball control, like if he was going to Jacksonville and they were getting ready to force that offensive system, I'd be like, hey, man, buyers should beware. But the offense that he ran and mastered looked pretty good against Alabama, especially in the second half, once they got used to that power and speed. So he's going to be successful in the NFL. But I just, man, be careful with the type of scrutiny, because sometimes, from the time these kids finish their last game, NFL analysts, ex-NFL players, former NFL executives like Charley is, and a lot of respect for the job that he did. Their job is to tear these guys down as far as what they can't do. The kid's won at every level. He can throw the football like nobody's business. He has electrifying playmaking ability that we have seen. We got 20 coaches in the NFL out of the 30, 22 of the 32 that are offensive coaches.
Right.
So his ability will be highlighted in the NFL.
Nick, what do you think is more important, a great leader or a great football player when it comes to the quarterback, or a guy that's going to be taken as high as Kyler Murray?
I think that the quarterback position is more than any other position in all of sports. Not just physical, not just attributes, especially a young quarterback. I think it has to be. You talk about all the time how different NFL locker rooms are, how no matter what Kevin Colbert will tell you, it's a bunch of grown men, and you need to have a presence about you. So I do think it matters. I think Baker Mayfield, part of his success was off the field, was in the locker room, in the team meetings, with the guys.
Which is what impressed everyone at the Combine last year.
100%. So I think it really matters. I think Tom Brady, before he turned into this quarterback, was a great leader and had a presence about him. So I do think it can hurt you. But I also think it's something you can learn. I think it is something you can become more comfortable with. I think...
Let me tell you who he's not. He's not Jamarcus Russell.
Sure.
All right?
Okay.
The kid was 43-0 in high school football in the state of Texas, playing at his highest level. Last year with Oklahoma, won the Heisman Trophy, lost 2 games, was brilliant, the best player in college football.
The other thing, though, see, is here who I think it's also fair to say he's not. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, similar size, all this stuff, but he is a guy who the moment he walks into a room, dynamic, and that clearly helped him particularly early in his career. So this is something that Kyler's going to have to learn.
Yeah, I wouldn't compare a lot of people to Russell Wilson.
Right.
Russell Wilson, man, is
special in that regard.
He's a grown man, but he has the type of temperament. He has the type of voice. He thinks about, man, he is a special leader. Now, we picked one of the best leaders that we have in the NFL who we're trying to compare him to. So that's not fair either.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.